This man decided to marry this woman, and everyone, including his parents, warned him not to do it. Michael was never one to ignore his instincts, but when it came to Olivia, logic had taken a back seat. His love for her seemed unwavering, even as friends and family begged him to reconsider his decision to marry her. Olivia was stunning, charming, and had a way of making Michael feel invincible. Yet, whispers of doubt followed him like shadows. Their $1.5 million wedding was the talk of the town, but not everyone in attendance shared the couple's joy. Beneath the glittering chandeliers and lavish floral arrangements, there was a sense of unease. People questioned Olivia's intentions, her past, and whether she truly loved Michael or had other motives. Michael, blinded by love, dismissed the skepticism and embraced his new life with Olivia. When Olivia announced her pregnancy just a few months into their marriage, Michael was surprised but ecstatic. He had always wanted to be a father, and the thought of starting a family with Olivia made him believe their bond was unshakable. But when their baby boy arrived, Michael couldn't ignore the growing murmurings. Friends and colleagues remarked that the child bore little resemblance to him, but he laughed off their comments, refusing to let doubts cloud his joy. Still, cracks in their relationship began to show. Olivia seemed distant, her warmth fading into cold indifference. The once fiery passion that had defined their love was replaced by arguments and avoidance. Michael tried everything: romantic getaways, counseling, and gifts, but nothing could reignite their connection. Then came the bombshell. As their marriage fell apart, Michael decided to investigate the doubts that had gnawed at him since their son's birth. A DNA test confirmed his worst fears. He was not the biological father. The revelation shattered him, but what he discovered next made the betrayal even worse. Olivia had been living a double life. During their marriage, she had secretly rekindled a relationship with an ex-boyfriend, a man she had never truly let go of. The lavish wedding and lifestyle were all part of a calculated plan. Michael's wealth and status had been her ticket to the life she desired, but she had no intention of staying loyal to him. Worse, Michael learned that Olivia had siphoned off large sums of money from their joint accounts, funneling it to fund her secret lover's business ventures. The public revelation of Olivia's betrayal sent shockwaves through their social circle. Michael, once the subject of envy, became a cautionary tale. Yet, instead of letting the scandal destroy him, he chose to rebuild his life. He became an advocate for financial literacy and emotional resilience, sharing his story to warn others about the dangers of ignoring red flags in relationships. As for Olivia, her actions caught up with her. The lover she had sacrificed everything for eventually abandoned her, leaving her to face the consequences of her choices. Meanwhile, Michael found peace in his new purpose, proving that even in the face of heartbreak and betrayal, one can rise stronger than ever. And so, Michael's story became not just a tale of love and loss, but of redemption and self-discovery, inspiring others to trust their instincts and value their self-worth. The years that followed were transformative for Michael. He poured himself into his work and personal growth, channeling his pain into productivity. His experiences had left him wiser, and he was determined to make the most of his second chance at life. Michael launched a podcast and blog, aptly titled Red Flag Chronicles. On these platforms, he shared stories of love, betrayal, and resilience, not just his own, but those of countless others who reached out to him. His vulnerability resonated with people around the world, turning his heartbreak into a source of healing for many. Michael's candid discussions about emotional intelligence, financial prudence, and recognizing toxic relationships sparked a global movement. Through his newfound mission, Michael built a community of people who supported one another. He also started hosting seminars and writing books, earning him a reputation as a thought leader in personal empowerment. He spoke about not just the pain of betrayal, but the importance of rebuilding trust in oneself. Meanwhile, Olivia's world began to crumble. Her lavish spending, reckless decisions, and the scandal surrounding her betrayal caught up with her. The business ventures she had funneled Michael's money into failed miserably, leaving her deeply in debt. The ex-boyfriend who had seemed so promising disappeared when the money ran out, leaving Olivia to fend for herself. Former friends distanced themselves, unwilling to associate with the scandal that surrounded her name. Olivia was forced to move back to her hometown, where she lived a quieter, humbler life. Rumors swirled that she reached out to Michael, asking for forgiveness and even help, but he never responded. Years later, at a charity gala he organized, Michael met someone who would change his life once again, a woman named Clara. Unlike Olivia, Clara was grounded and authentic, with a kind heart and a sharp intellect. She was a therapist who had been inspired by Michael's story and was using it in her own practice to help clients navigate toxic relationships. Their connection was immediate but not rushed. Both had learned the importance of taking time to build trust. Their love story was not built on whirlwind passion or lavish gestures, but on mutual respect, understanding, and shared values. Claire became a steadfast partner in Michael's journey, supporting his mission while encouraging him to embrace happiness for himself. They married in an intimate ceremony, surrounded by close friends and family. The couple even welcomed a daughter, a ray of hope and joy in Michael's new chapter. As Michael's influence grew, he set up a foundation that provided support for individuals escaping toxic relationships and rebuilding their lives. The foundation offered counseling services, financial education, and legal aid, ensuring no one felt as lost and betrayed as he once did. Michael also created scholarships for single parents pursuing higher education, a nod to the resilience he admired in those who face challenges head-on. Michael's story became more than just a tale of heartbreak. It became a symbol of resilience, empowerment, and the strength to rise above adversity. He had turned his deepest pain into his greatest power, proving that even the most devastating betrayal could lead to a life of purpose and fulfillment. Years later, a letter arrived at Michael's office. It was from Olivia. In it, she expressed genuine remorse for what she had done. She admitted to her mistakes and the selfish choices that had destroyed their relationship. She shared how her actions had brought her nothing but misery and regret. While Michael was moved by her words, he knew better than to reopen old wounds. Instead, he wrote her back a simple note: "I forgive you, but I've moved on. I wish you peace." For Michael, forgiveness wasn't about reconciliation. It was about freeing himself from the lingering shadows of the past. And as he looked around at the life he had built, a life filled with love, purpose, and authenticity, he knew he had finally found what he was searching for all along: happiness on his own terms. The world had changed him, but Michael had changed the world too. Years passed and Michael's life grew richer, not just in wealth but in meaning. His foundation, Rise Above, became a beacon of hope for countless people navigating the challenges of betrayal, heartbreak, and self-recovery. Its reach expanded globally, with branches in several countries offering support to those who needed it most. The foundation's slogan, "From Pain to Purpose," resonated with millions. Michael and Clara's relationship blossomed into a partnership built on shared goals and a deep sense of trust. Clara, with her background in therapy, became the co-chair of Rise Above, introducing programs that focused on mental health and emotional resilience. Together, they wrote a book, Healing Together, which became a bestseller and a cornerstone for couples seeking to rebuild trust after traumatic experiences. Their daughter, Emma, grew up surrounded by love and the inspiring work her parents did. Michael made it a point to balance his professional commitments with being present for his family. He wanted Emma to grow up knowing the value of integrity, kindness, and perseverance. Claire often joked that Michael's biggest transformation wasn't becoming a global figure, but mastering bedtime stories with Emma. One day, at a public event hosted by Rise Above, Michael spotted a face he hadn't seen in years: Olivia. She looked different, humbled, quieter, and far removed from the glamorous woman he had once married. She approached cautiously, unsure if he would even speak to her. "Michael," she said, her voice trembling, "I know I don't deserve your time, but I had to see you." Michael, now a man of grace and wisdom, invited her to sit. They spoke for hours. Olivia explained how she had spent years trying to come to terms with the pain she caused. She had been working on herself, volunteering at shelters, and even starting a support group for women trying to escape toxic relationships. She admitted that losing Michael and seeing the life he had built without her was the wake-up call she needed. "I'll never forgive myself for what I did to you," she said, tears streaming down her face. "But I hope I can make amends, even if just a little, by helping others the way you've helped me without even knowing it." Michael listened intently, his heart steady but open. He didn't feel anger or bitterness, only a deep sense of closure. "I'm glad you found a way to heal," he said gently. "The past is behind us, and while we can't change it, we can choose what to do with the lessons it taught us. I wish you well, Olivia." Olivia's transformation inspired Michael to expand Rise Above further. He realized that redemption and second chances were possible for anyone willing to put in the effort. New programs were introduced to support individuals who had been perpetrators of harm but sought to change their ways. The initiative faced skepticism at first, but Michael believed that healing wasn't just for victims, it was for anyone willing to face their truth and grow from it. As Michael approached his golden years, he reflected on the twists and turns of his life. His journey had been anything but easy, yet every challenge had shaped him into the person he had become. He often thought about how different his life could have been if he hadn't taken the risk of marrying Olivia. And though that chapter had been painful, it was also the catalyst for everything he achieved. At a gala celebrating the 20th anniversary of Rise Above, Michael took the stage. The room was filled with familiar faces, friends, family, and even strangers whose lives had been touched by his work. As he looked out at the crowd, his heart swelled with gratitude. "We all face moments that break us," he said, his voice steady and warm. "But it's what we do after the breaking that defines who we truly are. Pain is inevitable, but growth is a choice. My journey has taught me that even in the darkest moments, there is light to be found, and it starts within us." The audience erupted into applause, not just for the man on stage, but for the story of resilience and hope he embodied. Michael's legacy continued long after he passed, with Rise Above becoming a cornerstone organization in the fight for emotional well-being and personal empowerment. Emma, his daughter, took over as its leader, carrying forward her father's vision with her mother Clara by her side. Michael's story became more than just his own. It was a testament to the power of resilience, the beauty of forgiveness, and the profound impact one person can have on the world when they choose to rise above.